presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Good Saturday night from Washington, D.C. One of the many memorials here in D.C., the Jefferson Memorial. And not too far from there, we are at Nationals Park, the home of the Washington Nationals. And it's the Brew Crew and the Nats tonight, Game 2 of this 3-game series. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Nationals Park. Great to have you with us tonight alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Telly Hughes is our reporter this evening. Well, the Brewers are, instead of focusing on a pennant race, are now focusing on the future. And a big part of that future is the guy on the mound tonight, Taylor Youngman. Bounce back start his last time up and rocked since June 9th, which was his major league debut. He's been one of the best pitchers in the National League.
Yeah, he's really only had the one bad start. That was against the Cubs, 2 2/3. Really couldn't get a whole lot going on, but he bounced back nicely against the Phillies back on the last homestand. You can see the numbers, outstanding, 9 strikeouts. That set a season high for Taylor Youngman. The difference for him, mechanics certainly, but the curveball, outstanding. You can see the curveball, how effective that pitch has been. He's going to need that tonight. You know the Nationals are going to be looking to bounce back after a very lackluster performance last night.
Now the Nationals in a pennant race, 5 games behind the Mets as we start play today. Matt Williams and the Nats know they're in a bit of trouble. Can the Brewers make it back-to-back wins against Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals? Lineups, first pitch, coming up next. Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Bryce Harper leading the Nationals out onto the field here at Nationals Park. It is a beautiful night for baseball. 81 degrees. Saturday night in our nation's capital, and the Brewers trying to make it back-to-back wins here in D.C. and trying to make it 3 straight overall after their win in the final game of the series against Miami. There's Craig Counsell. Had a good birthday yesterday, right? 45 years of age, celebrated with a victory. And the Brewers come in with an overall record of 53-70. Counsell at 46-52. And here is his Potawatomi batting order with Shane Peterson, Jonathan Lucroy, Ryan Braun at the top. In the middle, Adam Lynn, Chris Davis, and Scooter Gennett. And then Gene Segura, Elian Herrera, and Taylor Youngman rounding out the Potawatomi batting order. And that lineup, Rock, will face Joe Ross, younger brother of Tyson, also in his rookie season in the big leagues.
Yeah, good numbers for Ross. He's got a .386 earned run average, but doesn't have the wins to show for it. 3-5. He did pitch against the Brewers early this year. That came in June, beat Milwaukee 7-2 and 8 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, but he's lost 2 straight. Got beat by the Dodgers and the Giants, and in that stretch, those 2 games give up 9 earned runs in 8 2/3 innings. Well, let's check out your Menards Nationals defense. A little shaky defensively in last night's ball game. Worth, Taylor, and Harper in the outfield. You got Rendon, Desmond, Espinoza, and Zimmerman from third to first, and Wilson Ramos back in the starting lineup. He had yesterday off.
Now the Nationals are again without Yunel Escobar, who's not on the disabled list, was injured yesterday. That forced Rendon to go from second base to third base. So the Nats playing with just a 4-man bench, and they have a player tonight in Escobar who is a little banged up and maybe not available tonight. So they are very shorthanded. Shane Peterson steps in, ready to go. The Brewers and the Nationals, game 2 of this series. And the Brewers try to make it tough on the Nats to climb back to the top of their division. Washington went under 500 with the loss last night. They are now 60-61. Mets won last night. Cespedes had a big game for New York, so a 5-game lead for the New York Mets in the National League East. And it looks like the wild card at this point, with a little over 6 weeks to play, is going to come through the National League Central, 1, maybe 2 of those spots. As Peterson with a big swing and a miss. And Matt Williams coming under a little bit of fire here recently with the way his ball club has played. This team under Williams won the division 2 years ago.
They just can't get out of their own way right now. If it's not the pitching, it's the offense. The defense has been pretty shaky. Yeah, very disappointing effort by the Nationals, according to their manager in last night's game. Didn't have a lot of errors, but there were a lot of plays that should have been made that were not. Jason Worth right in the middle of it.
2-2 to Shane Peterson back in that leadoff spot. Hard throwing Ross misses inside. Now Washington's last 10 games have been a stretch to forget. They are just 2-8. Low batting average as a team, high ERA, and look at all of the errors. 8 errors in the last 10 games. Peterson on the ground to first base. Back in there tonight with a start is Zimmerman, and there is the first out, and that's how the night begins here in D.C.
Yeah, Ross came up in June, made 3 starts. He threw the baseball pretty well. He was 2-1 in that stretch, including a win against the Brewers. Then he got sent down. Well, he got called back up on July 21st. So his second stint with the Nationals, throwing the baseball pretty well.
He was one of the 2 players the Nationals got part of a 3-team trade this offseason. Tampa Bay, San Diego, and Washington. A lot of players moving. The Nationals got a couple of talented young prospects, though, in Ross. And a guy that they called up yesterday made his major league debut, Trey Turner. Not in the starting lineup tonight. Here's Lucroy with one away. Jonathan last night had 3 hits. 3 out of 5. He scored a couple of runs. He drove in a run. Scored twice on sacrifice flies. The Brewers won the game 10-3 and outslugged the Nats 14-6. 10 runs on 14 hits. Nationals committed 2 errors as well.
Yep, a 5-run 7th inning from Milwaukee in last night's ball game.
Made a winner out of Jimmy Nelson, who's back over 500 now. He won his 10th game of the season. 5 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs for Nelson. He is now 10-9 with a 3.60 ERA. Got good work out of the bullpen as well. There's a strike to Lucroy. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, a lot of movement on the fastball for Joe Ross. And 94 to 96 with a fastball with that big move. He gets a lot of ground ball outs. And he's got a slider to go with it. Occasional changeup, but everything pretty much hard out of the hand of Joe Ross tonight.
Lucroy just lays the bat on it. Slow roller out to Desmond. Got a very strong arm, and he pulls Zimmerman off the bag. Lucroy is safe. And the defensive woes for the Washington Nationals continue here.
Well, Ian Desmond has been one of the biggest culprits defensively for this Washington Nationals ball club. 23 errors. Let's see how they score that one. A lot of errors for your shortstop. And Desmond normally much better than that. It's going to be an error.
Well, they flashed error on the scoreboard. They had just announced it as a base hit. So we will let you know when they get the story straight. Right now, it is an infield hit for Lucroy. I don't see how that's possible, but Lucroy will take it. That's a routine play. Got to make that play if you're the Nationals.
Well, we saw a lot of interesting scoring decisions in last night's ball games on ground balls, particularly to Rendon, that were scored base hits.
Yeah, Ryan Braun was on the receiving end of one of those, one that they went back and changed. Braun had an infield hit last night, was 1 out of 3, and fouls that one right off his foot. That one stung him a little bit.
Yeah, that's that two-seam fastball from Joe Ross. He's got good movement on it. And talking to Darnell Coles, the Brewers hitting coach. Brewers early in the count have got to make him get that pitch up in the strike zone a little bit.
He's just 22. He just turned 22 in May. Getting his first chance in the big leagues this year as Braun waves and misses. So Joe Ross comes back, strikes out Ryan Braun. Second out of the inning, first strikeout on a nasty slider.
Yeah, way off the outside corner. He throws it so hard that it's very difficult to pick it up.
And here is Adam Lind now with Lucroy at first. Adam with a couple of hits last night. He was 2 for 4. He scored 2 runs, had a double. He's been swinging the bat well. He's had a terrific year at the plate. Really hasn't been mired in any significant slumps. He's had his games when he would go hitless, back-to-back games, 3 games in a row, but nothing severe. He's been a good hitter. He's had a good year against Washington. He's 8 for 18 on the season against this opponent.
Yeah, very consistent. I mean, a couple of times he's gone through his 2 for 16 stretches, but then he snaps back out of it very quickly.
A ball and a strike. Lucroy at first. We are just underway from Nationals Park. And Lind on the ground, back in the grass is Espinosa, and that will retire the side. So the Brewers come up empty against Joe Ross. Now Taylor Youngman on the mound for the Brew Crew. We go to the bottom of the first inning. scoreless in the first, despite an infield hit by Lucroy. And there is second-year manager Matt Williams. And you see his overall record. Nationals come in 60-61 on the season. Potawatomi batting order has Worth, Rendon, and Harper, the top three for Williams. He's got Zimmerman back in the starting lineup tonight with Ian Desmond and Danny Espinosa. And the bottom three, Wilson Ramos, Michael Taylor, and Joe Ross.
And Taylor Youngman coming off perhaps one of his best starts of the season against the Phillies. Went 6 1/3, only 3 hits, no runs, and set a season high 9 strikeouts. Had a terrific curveball, making his second start this year against Washington. The Nationals beat him back at Miller Park back on June 14th. And let's check out the defense, brought to you by Menards tonight. Got Davis, Peterson, and Braun in the outfield. Herrera gets a start at third base. Segura and Jeanette up the middle. Adam Lind at first. And as usual, Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate.
Jason Worth will lead off for the Nats. His 5th game as a leadoff hitter. Had a tough night in the outfield last night. And playing left field these days, this year, moved him to left so Harper could play right. There is strike one from Youngman. Worth comes in batting .193. He's battled injuries, had shoulder surgery this past offseason, and got hit in the wrist. You see the brace that he wears. Much different year for Worth than last season.
And one of the leaders, one of the big run producers that the Nationals have, counted on, but hasn't been able to play too much this year. And is having a difficult time getting going.
Just the 51st game of the season for Worth. And a fastball fouled away. Well, he was great with the Phillies. He was part of that outstanding group that won the World Series in 2008. Signed a big free agent contract here prior to the 11 season, making north of $20 million per season now with the Nationals.
Yeah, that pitch right there for Taylor Youngman was the big pitch against Philadelphia. That curveball, got a lot of strikeouts with that pitch. Didn't have it against the Cubs, and because of that had his worst start of the year.
And a pop-up. See if it'll stay playable. Lind will give it a look. Not a whole lot of room over there. It ends up in the seats. I think everybody was curious to see how Youngman would bounce back after his start against the Cubs, and he answered all of the questions. Everybody, if you pitch long enough, is going to get humbled on the mound. Youngman lasted just 2 2/3 against the Cubs. 4 runs, only 2 of those were earned. But he walked 3 in 2 2/3, took a loss, came right back, went 6 1/3 shutout against the Phillies, and I think that set everybody's mind at ease that this kid's got a little staying power to him. He definitely has the moxie. He looks like he belongs. He has pitched so well for the Brewers since coming up. This is his 14th start as a major leaguer. So interesting that he appeared in 11 games in AAA, had an ERA of 6.37 in Colorado Springs, and yet he comes to the big leagues and a 2.23 earned run average so far this season in those 13 starts.
Yeah, I think he showed everybody that Cubs start was a fluke, because first inning against the Phillies, he struck out the side. Struck out the side in the first, struck out the side in the third inning.
Career high 9 strikeouts for Youngman. 2-2 the count on Worth. And a line drive, base hit. Worth goes right back up the middle with a Youngman fastball. And an 8-pitch at bat turns into a single for the Nationals leadoff hitter.
Yeah, didn't bite on that curveball a couple of times. Youngman threw it to him. Worth didn't chase it. And then had to come in with a fastball, and he got him.
So a lead runner on for Anthony Rendon. Another guy that has battled injuries this year. Rendon dealing with knee problems early in the season, and then when he was trying to come back in a minor league rehab, had an oblique injury. So he's another guy that has had to play catch up all season as well. Nationals are led by Bryce Harper. He's having an MVP type season, and they're trying to get production elsewhere. They've got a Rookie of the Year candidate in Michael A. Taylor. Denard Span on the disabled list right now. Tyler Moore is on the DL. Those are a couple of bats that the Nationals were counting on prior to the season. Managers don't like to hear the injuries excuses, and one team that has overcome injuries better than any other team in the big leagues is the St. Louis Cardinals, and yet they boast the best record in the major leagues, and they've dealt with more injuries than anybody.
Yeah,
but it certainly has affected the Nationals this season.
Yeah, no doubt, especially the guys that have been hurt. You know, Ian Desmond has not had a very good season, although he's been swinging the bat much better.
Rendon is playing in just his 42nd game of the year. Last year, Rendon in 153 games, so that was his first real full season in the big leagues. He led the National League in runs scored. He hit .287 last year. High on base percentage, had an OPS near .850 last season, had a terrific season. He was actually the Silver Slugger Award winner among Major League second basemen last year.
I think a lot of it has to do with the guys around him in batting order, with the big boys out and not really productive, although hitting in front of Bryce Harper is a pretty good spot in anybody's lineup.
21 homers, 83 RBIs a year ago. He's hit 1 homer with 7 ribbies this year. As he lines one foul, 3-2 the count. Harper's the one who's had the magical season with 31 home runs. He hit number 31 last night, and 74 driven in now, and he's hitting .330. Second in the league behind Deke Gordon of the Marlins. Couple of long at bats to get it started for Youngman. Already 13 pitches. Has not recorded an out yet. Got a runner at first.
Yeah, command a little shaky early on here. Not able to throw that curveball for strikes.
And word takes off. Rendon takes ball 4. 2 on, nobody out.
Now Lucroy trying to settle him down, trying to get those mechanics back to where they were his last start.
And 2 men are on for Bryce Harper, and they love him here in Washington, D.C. Last night was all Brewers, but Harper did give him something to cheer about. Had a home run in the right center field, his 31st home run of the season.
Yeah, first pitch after Jimmy Nelson struck him out the at-bat before.
He and Paul Goldschmidt, the top 2 candidates for the most valuable player award. You see the OPS for Bryce Harper up over 1,000 at 22 years of age. He would be the youngest player on the Brewers team right now.
Amazing, isn't it?
And putting up just huge numbers at this point. He's got a realistic shot at the Washington Nationals franchise record, which goes back into the Montreal days as well, for home runs in a season. Dynamic player, very strong throwing arm. He's fast.
Made some great throws in the home plate in last night's game. Yeah, he's the total package for sure.
Yeah, Youngman having a hard time finding the strike zone. This is not shaping up to be a good inning here for Taylor Youngman. He is behind 2-0 on Harper. 2 on with nobody out right out of the gates. See Harper just 7 home runs away from Soriano's franchise record for homers, which was set here in Washington back in '06. That was the second year in D.C. when they used to play over at RFK. Much different ballpark here than RFK, though.
Yeah, RFK was a cavernous, big ballpark. Tough to hit home runs.
Harper into center field. Peterson coming on, and he makes the catch. What a play by Shane Peterson. And the throw to third in time. Wow. A great catch. A better throw. And it ends up as a double play for Milwaukee.
No, it is right now. Let's see if the Nationals want to take a look at it. Who said Shane Peterson's not a center fielder? Boy, that is a tremendous play by Peterson out there. He's able to get up. And then when he threw that ball to third base, I'm thinking, why not throw it into second? Pretty close over there at third. It's the call is out. It doesn't look like the Nationals are going to challenge it. Boy, what a play by Shane Peterson. Getting up and making a good throw to third, and Herrera able to drop the tag.
So impressive. Double play ends up 8-5 on the putout. The catch was beautiful. And then a throw from that distance, one hop right on the money for a double play. What a pick-me-up for Taylor Youngman.
Man, the more you see that young man out in center field, the more you like him. He's a smart player. He very rarely makes mistakes. The throwing arm is good, but the accuracy is very good. And getting Jason Worth at third base, well, that's a huge play for Taylor Youngman.
It's only the first inning, but that's one to mark. That could be the play of the game today. You never know how a game's going to turn. But the Nationals are sitting here with 2 on, nobody out. Hitters count for Harper, and they end up with a double play out of that.
He just got up so quickly and threw a strike into third base.
2 outs for Ryan Zimmerman. I'm sure Peterson, he's human. He hears all the talk yesterday about Domingo Santana, this prize prospect coming up, making his Brewers debut yesterday. Santana did not disappoint. He had a home run yesterday, a key home run in the game yesterday. That was part of a 3-run 5th inning. And a lot of attention being paid to Santana, who is a corner outfielder like Peterson, but started in center field last night.
The only true center fielder the Brewers have on the roster right now is Logan Schaefer. He's not getting a whole lot of playing time.
Well, we'll see if Youngman can get through this first unscathed. And a wave and a miss. He will in fact do it. A strikeout to end it. What a turn in the inning. Shane Peterson, a big star on that play. Diving catch, throw to third, and a double play changes the entire inning. What a play. By Shane Peterson. A lot of buzz around the ballpark today, though, about the actions of Mike Fiers last night. Our Columbia St. Mary's worth another look. The 9th inning in Houston. Mike Fiers had never pitched a complete game before. Not only did he pitch a complete game, he threw a no-hitter with that strikeout of Justin Turner. 134 pitches, and Mike Fiers becoming the 11th Houston Astro to throw a no-hitter. The former Brewer traded just a few weeks ago from Milwaukee to Houston, and a great moment for him. We congratulate him.
Yeah.
Happy for him.
Yeah, good for him. Boy, he had one of those magical nights. That's a lot of pitches, though. Let's see how he bounces back his next time out, but he's got that going for him. He's got the no-hitter, and you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, that was something. Great press conference last night. Chris Davis leads off. Fly ball into right field. Harper almost in his tracks. Makes a play for it out number 1.
I'll tell you, Dodgers can swing the bats too. I mean, that's a tough team to no hit.
Well, Telly Hughes was in the clubhouse last night as the Brewers game ended and the Astros game was nearing an end. And Telly, that was quite a scene from his former teammates last night.
Yeah, they all gathered around the television after winning last night's ball game, and they were just so excited for him, and everyone just was so proud that he was able to have this accomplishment. And talking to Craig Counsell afterwards, he said it couldn't have happened to a greater guy, and even though he had never pitched a complete game in his career, he said he is a guy that would be likely to do so. He's a guy that gets a lot of strikeouts, get a lot of fly balls, and see, he had everything working last night, and his former teammates were extremely proud and happy for him.
And he even acknowledged them. They alerted Mike Fiers last night in his postgame press conference that the entire Brewers ball club was surrounded around the television in the Washington clubhouse, and they reacted as soon as that strikeout occurred and the no-hitter was official. And that's what you love to see. These guys pull for each other, and Fiers came up in the Brewers minor league system. Drafted in 2009, so he's got a lot of friends here still, and they're happy for him. And he acknowledged that. He said, I'd be disappointed if they didn't do that. We're all very tight and all been through a lot together. And for Mike Fiers individually, he's a guy that has been through more than anybody should. His mother passed a couple of years ago, and very tragic situation for him and his family. The Brewers at the time sent him back to the minor leagues, all the way back from the big leagues to Single A in Florida in Brevard County, so he could be with his ailing mother. And then later that year had his arm broken on a line drive, and yeah, you weren't sure if he was ever going to make it to the big leagues. Now he's thrown a no-hitter, and he's in a pennant race with the Astros.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
No pitch counts in a no-hitter. You imagine?
Most pitches he's ever thrown in his career. And it was a good day for the Brewers as well. Fiers and Gomez traded to Houston for 4 minor league prospects, and one of those prospects was Domingo Santana, and he hit the home run last night. That helped the Brewers win the game. Jeanette flies to left. Worth is backing up. He's got it for out number 2.
Yeah, stretched the lead last night to 5-1. That was a big home run. A bullet, a line drive, barely making it over the fence. But if it hit the fence, it might have knocked it down. It's a big, strong young man right there, and he can hit the ball a ton.
Now, right now, the Brewers don't have a position for Santana. But center field is a spot he's okay at and feels okay playing, and he's just happy to get the at-bats. And the same goes for Shane Peterson, so you figure those two will operate in a bit of a platoon this year. Peterson deserves the playing time, to be honest with you. Shane's had a terrific season and has just made one of the best catches of the season. Segura sneaks one past Espinoza. Looked like Espinoza lost his footing there for a moment, and Segura is going to reach on an infield hit. Or a single to right that should have been knocked down in the infield.
Yeah, both of the hits for the Brewers should have been outs. I mean, that's a play that a major league second baseman normally makes. No ifs, ands, or buts. He just kind of decided that he was going to dive at it. Kind of took his time getting over there right under the glove, and That's one that should have been an out.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays. They don't show up as errors. And that's why you can't judge how a team is defensively by just looking at the errors. And the Nationals have had a lot of errors lately, 8 in their last 10 games. But those are plays that you have to make. And you've got Desmond tonight and Espinosa that have booted a couple that aren't listed as errors. But if you're in a pennant race, you got to have those outs. Brewers will take it. They've got Segura at first with Elian Herrera at the plate.
And Nationals in the bottom third of the National League defensively. 72 errors. Could have been a lot more last night and a couple here tonight. That last one was a hit, but a play that should have been made. Not so sure about that ground ball to shortstop in the first inning.
2-0. Never mind. Throw to first instead. Now Herrera had a good night last night. He had 2 hits. He drove in a run. Had a walk. On base 3 times last night. Played second base last night. He's getting the call at third base tonight. So utilizing his switch hitting ability has him operating in a couple of different platoons. So against a right-handed starter, Herrera will play third base and bat left-handed. Against a left-handed starter like last night, Herrera plays second base for Jeanette, and of course it's right-handed.
Yeah, but that's the value of Elian Herrera. Play all over, and he can switch hit. Good player coming off your bench.
Herrera in the air, shallow right field. Harper's coming in. Espinosa back, and he'll give way to Harper to end the inning. Couple of hits for the Brewers. They've stranded 2 thus far, heading to the bottom of the second. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. It's great to be in our nation's capital here tonight. Saturday night in Washington, D.C. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Taylor Youngman got a bit of a mulligan in that first inning with a great diving catch by Shane Peterson and turned it into a double play as Worth was trying to tag and was able to get out of the inning unscathed. Facing Ian Desmond now to start the second inning. Desmond, Espinosa, the switch hitter, and then Wilson Ramos.
And sometimes a pitcher picks up the defense, and sometimes it's the other way around. And that time, defense picking up Taylor Youngman.
The best of the year for Shane Peterson. That'll be one to put on the highlight reel for him this season. He's been very impressive this season.
He's a good ball player. I mean, he doesn't make mistakes. He has a good approach up at the plate. I mean, he's not the fastest guy, doesn't have the greatest arm, but he certainly, when he's out there, he's going to help you win a game, or at least make every effort to do so.
Brewers got Peterson from the Cubs. He was on their major league roster this offseason, and they took him off the roster. Brewers were able to claim him, not knowing if he'd be this kind of big league player. They wanted him in the organization for some outfield depth, and he has taken advantage of it. As Desmond strikes out, Lucroy has to secure it at first, does so, and there is the second Youngman strikeout. If you're just picking this up, this was the catch last inning that helped change the inning on Marshfield Clinic's shining moment of the game, a diving catch, and to make it better, a perfect throw to third base to get Worth.
Yeah, a little bit more into the gap, and that's a double for Harper. Probably 2 runs in, and Harper standing at second base, but they got 2 outs, ended up with 2 outs and a man at first. Youngman able to get out of the inning.
And for Jason Worth, he's just having one of those series thus far. He probably feels like he can't do anything right at this point.
He got thrown out trying to steal last night. Thrown out at third tonight,
which was a rally killer. Here's Espinosa. Entered the game in the first inning last night when Escobar was hurt, and he is starting tonight. I was a little surprised, Rock, that the Nationals, with Escobar day to day with that neck injury, that they didn't go make a move to try to bolster this roster, because they're already playing with a 4-man bench. So they're carrying 8 in their bullpen right now.
Right.
That basically gives them 2 players, because your third is the backup catcher. As Espinosa strikes out, so Youngman has come back and has posted 3 consecutive Ks.
And another curveball. He got Desmond on the curveball. Now gets Espinosa. He's got it back. He didn't have in the first inning, but that's the thing about momentum, and that play for Shane Peterson getting that double play. I mean, it really gives your pitcher a lot of confidence. It's kind of a mulligan, as you mentioned, in that first inning, and now he's got his stuff back.
Here's Wilson Ramos, starting catcher. He's back in there tonight. Lobaton caught last night. Ramos does most of the catching. Lobaton's been out there recently when Gio Gonzalez pitches. And a catcher with some power. Has 9 homers this year. He's driven in 49. Doesn't walk much, though. He is pretty much up there to hack. He's a free swinger. And right down the middle, Ramos was late. Those are the kind of pitches that gives you an idea that Youngman, even though he's throwing 92, 93 miles an hour, there's just something about him that's so different.
Yeah, the release point. It just takes hitters a while to get used to it. Pitched pretty well against Washington at Miller Park, but he suffered a loss.
And that great curveball he's got going now. Most hitters in a 2-0 count and a middle 92 mile an hour fastball, that is go zone. You don't see a miss, not big league hitters. But Youngman's got that little bit of deception, that
little cut action on his fastball, and he's starting to throw a 2-seamer.
2-2, another curveball lined in the left that one up a little bit, and Ramos was ready for it. So a single to left, second hit for the Nationals. 2 out, 2 strike hit for the Washington catcher.
Now doubled up on the curveball that time. Ramos Didn't like the first one, but he was waiting for the second one and able to hit it hard into left field.
That'll bring up Michael A. Taylor, having a terrific rookie season and now starting to play a lot. Denard Span is out with a back injury. He's got problems with his sports hernia as well. So Taylor's been the everyday guy in center field now. Just getting his feet wet last year, didn't do much. This year starting to settle in and looks like a force. He hit a long home run here last night, and he is now homered in back-to-back games. 2 days ago against Colorado, hit a 493-foot homer. This was last night, and that was a no-doubter. Halfway up the bleachers in deep left center field. That was home run number 12 for Taylor. Now 53 runs batted in, and he also has 15 steals.
Well, the at-bat before the home run, he almost hit one out. Deep in the left center. Chris Davis able to catch it right up against the fence. And he's got big power, no doubt. He's got a lot of swing and miss in him as well.
Into right center. That's deep. And that is going to fly out of here. Taylor with a home run. And out of here in a flash. 3 straight games with a home run for Michael Taylor. Just like that, the Nationals on the board 2-0. A 2-out home run.
An impressive swing on a high fastball for Taylor. And that's the way Ryan Braun hits him to the opposite field. That pitch up. And he knows he got it. That ball was smoked out there into the gap. Way out of here to right center. That high fence out there. You don't see many right-handers hit him like that to the opposite field.
Yeah, so Youngman had Wilson Ramos in a 2-strike count, looking to maybe strike out the side. And ends up giving up 2 runs here with 2 outs. A single and a homer. Joe Ross, the pitcher, at the plate. A little flare into shallow right. Jeanette wants it, and that will retire the side. So a quick strike for the Washington Nationals with 2 outs. Michael Taylor gives him a 2-0 lead. Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Well, the Washington Nationals get a booming home run out of Michael Taylor. 2-run shot. They lead 2-0 as we head to the third inning now. Brewers made a trade after the game last night and acquired a player. So the roster changes a bit in the bullpen. And for more on that, we check in with Telly.
BA Neil Kotz was traded to the Minnesota Twins, and the Brewers claim Cesar Jimenez from the Phillies off waivers, and that now makes it 6 total players that Craig Counsell has not with since taking over the managerial position for the Brewers back on May 4th. And when asked if that makes his job more difficult, Counsell said no, actually it just helps the guys get more opportunities and more opportunities to prove that they can be a part of the Brewers' plans for the future. So, I mean, a lot of changes, a lot of transition, but it seemed like Craig Counsell knew that's exactly what he was getting into once he took over the manager job.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think that the writing was on the wall that the Brewers are going to start, making deals to prepare for the future, get some young players. So they trade away a left-hander, get a left-hander, and he's in the bullpen tonight. And not a hard thrower, upper 80s with a slider. Very similar to the style of Neil Kotz. We'll see how Craig Counsell feels he wants to use him right away.
There he is. Cesar Jimenez. Stylish lefty from the Philadelphia Phillies. And he's excited. He'll get a chance. Neil Kotz is excited. He's just going right across the Beltway down to Baltimore. They'll be matching up against the Orioles tonight as Youngman swings and misses. A strikeout to start the third inning for Joe Ross. That's his second K. I think if you're Neil Kotz, you appreciate that. I think word gets out among players about the Brewers that they do things the right way. They try to take care of players when necessary. And for Neil Kotz, he is in the final year of a 1-year deal, so it's not as if it's a multi-year contract the Brewers have to deal with, and it gives him a chance to pitch in a pennant race here. And the Twins have a need. They need a left-hander. Kotz is right here, fits that bill. Terry Ryan, the general manager of the Twins, and Doug Melvin, the general manager of the Brewers, have known each other for a long time, so they work out a mutual arrangement, and we hope the best for Neil Kotz. He gets a chance to help the Twins into a postseason, perhaps. And
you save some payroll. I mean, you're going to save some money. It's not millions and millions, but still every little bit helps going forward. About $600,000 was remaining on Neil Kotz's deal, and although that might be chum change to some, that's pretty good money.
That's right. One gone. Shane Peterson back up his second time through, hitting in the leadoff spot tonight. And Peterson on the ground to Espinoza, and that'll be out number 2.
Hey, there's another all-fan Sunday on tap at Miller Park next Sunday, August 30th, as the Brewers host the Reds. All fans receive an old-fashioned vintage Brewer bobblehead courtesy of Sendik's Food Markets. To reserve your spot at Miller Park, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com today. The Nodder.
The Nodder. He'll get your thoughts if you let him look you in the eye long enough. He'll steal your dreams.
Looks a little bit like Gorman, doesn't he?
I don't think so. Not at all. Not at all. The Nodder is, he's kind of like a cute little thing, little boy, and he's got his hat on.
That's not
Gorman. That's couldn't be further from Gorman Thomas, who's a gruff man. You're the one who looks like Gorman.
I look like Gordon. I look like Gorman.
That was an inside joke. Sometimes when we walk around the ballpark, people shout out at Rock, "Hey, Gorman."
I consider that to be a compliment.
Yeah, you don't. How's your barbecue sauce coming, Rock? I know Gorman's got his own brand.
I like Gorman's. It's a mustard-based deal, and I like it.
I asked Gorman what's in it, and he kind of yelled at me. He went very Gorman-like. Kind of harumphed at me a little bit. I'm not going to tell you.
It's good.
See, the Nodder would never say something like that.
He'd tell you, wouldn't he?
He'd flat out tell you, and he'd nod while he did it. Lucroy gets tied up. And a good inning for Joe Ross. 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts. That's the way you do it. How about last night? Speaking of a guy who was on fire, that would be Yoenis Cespedes. He was 5 out of 6 last night. He had 3 home runs against the Rockies. Had a double and 7 runs batted in. A Cespedes for the rest of us.
Yeah.
The New York Mets.
Every time I see his name now, that's what I think of. What a night. What a night at the ballpark. So you have a 3 home run game. You have a no-hitter. Pretty exciting night in baseball.
And a win for the Mets, and the Nationals lost here against the Brew Crew, dropping Washington to 5 back in the National League East. Everybody's expecting the Nationals to have a finishing kick, some kind of hot streak. With all the talent that they have, with the great pitching staff that they have, will they get that hot streak? We shall see. This is a long homestand for the Nationals, a key one for them.
Yeah, it really is all about the offense for Washington. You look at Max Scherzer's year. He's got a 279 earned run average. He's 11-10.
Had a no-hitter this year. Almost no-hit the Brewers.
Right.
Harper's having an MVP season.
Jordan Zimmerman 9-8, 344 earned run average. So guys are pitching pretty well.
Nationals went out and traded for Jonathan Papelbon before the trade deadline. Got him from the Phillies.
Steven Strasburg, a 422 earned run average. Down year for him, a 7-6 record.
Now, on paper, you look at their roster, the Nationals look like the best team in the big leagues when the season began, but it has not played out that way. 2 balls and a strike on Worth, who had a single his last time up. Youngman in there with a fastball for a strike. 2-2.
That was a good pitch on the outside corner. A little cut to it. The fastball that Worth got for a base hit was middle in. Lined it into center field.
And a curveball had him out in front. Jeanette is over, and Jeanette's got it in fair territory for out number 1. Worth is retired. Good breaking ball by Youngman.
A good curveball, and Worth did a good job just getting a bat on it. It might have been out of the zone, but he didn't want to take a chance.
Still shaking the bees out of his hand. Remember that jam shot earlier in the count. That one stung him a little bit. So 1 away for Youngman. Here's Anthony Rendon now. Rendon had such a good year last year. He actually got some votes for the National League MVP award last season. He finished 5th in the MVP voting. That was won by Clayton Kershaw. He's only 25 years of age. A couple of Texans matching up here.
Yeah, good power when he's healthy. Play him at second, play him at third.
Rendon is from Arlington, Texas, where the Rangers play. Played his college ball at Rice. And Youngman played his college ball at the University of Texas. I'm sure they cross paths at the collegiate level. Different conferences, but 2 of the top players in the state as amateurs and collegiate players, same age. Two balls, 2 strikes on Rendon. And a little half swing, able to check it. Count goes full, 3-2.
A little bit low, and Yeah, Rendon able to hold up. Look at that pretty good pitch.
And he lost him. Youngman walks Rendon. A one-out walk here in the third inning, and a walk in front of Bryce Harper. Hey, a reminder that Fox Sports Wisconsin is proud to partner with Girls on the Run Greater Milwaukee to empower girls to be healthy and confident. Join us for Girls on the Run Fall 5K. That's Sunday, November 15th, and it's at the Bayshore Town Center in Glendale. And to register, visit foxsportswisconsin.com. Click on the upcoming events tab. Well, a man on for Harper, who lined out his last time up. That was a pivotal spot for Youngman. Had not recorded an out. Harper hit it right on the button, but a diving catch by Peterson.
Yeah, second time that he's walked Rendon in front of Bryce Harper. You're just asking for trouble doing that. Asking for trouble, you do it once. He's done it back-to-back times to Rendon. Kelly Youngman can use a few outs early in counts. It's been a lot of deep counts for him. Just about every hitter, he's had to go deep.
A very high pitch count right now in the third inning. This is pitch number 55 coming. Shift is on for Harper, and he takes low. 2 balls and a strike. Harper has a lot of moving parts in his swing. You feel like there are holes there, and when he's going bad, there are, but he rarely goes bad for long stretches. What a hitter he is. He's already been an all-star 3 times. He's 22.
Yeah.
Just his 4th year in the big leagues. Had some injuries that he dealt with last year. Played in just 100 games last season. But this is a career year for him.
And when he got drafted, they pinned superstar on him, and he hasn't disappointed.
2 balls and a strike on Harper. In the air to left field. And Davis for the out.
There's a break.
Big bat retired for Taylor Youngman. 2 away in the third.
On a 3-0 pitch. Bryce Harper flying out to the opposite field.
That'll bring up Ryan Zimmerman now. Zimmerman is dealing with a foot injury. It's towards the heel. Matt Williams had him out of the starting lineup last night, but he ended up playing in last night's game. And actually had 2 plate appearances last night. Had a walk. Was 0 for 1.
Struck out. Neil Kotz got him.
Zimmerman no longer a third baseman. Hard to watch him throw the ball last few years over at third base. But they had Adam LaRoche playing first base, so no spot for him over there. They even tried him in the outfield a little bit. But he's mostly the first baseman now every day when he's healthy. Runner goes. Tough pitch to throw on for Lucroy. And Rendon steals second base.
The Nationals have been running on the Brewers in this series, and it's not the fault of Jonathan Lucroy. Rendon able to steal this one. He stole this one on Youngman. Very good throw by Lucroy, but not even close.
Now the Brewers starters are going to have to do a much better job holding runners in the future.
Nationals had 2 stolen bases last night.
Runner in scoring position now for Zimmerman. And a swing and a drive into center field. Peterson got a long way to go. He's at the track, and Peterson makes a catch. Just shy of the wall. I think the ball actually popped out briefly. And Zimmerman hit it to the wrong part of the ballpark. Nice catch, Shane Peterson. Well done again. On our way to the fourth. And how about a game break earlier tonight? Starling Marte, bottom of the ninth inning off George Contos, a walk-off home run for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Look at the crowd there at PNC in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, with 2 outs.
Marte not only hit a walk-off home run, he took a home run back defensively as well. And the Pirates defeat the Giants 3-2. That's a key matchup in that wild card race. Pittsburgh trying to keep pace with the Cardinals for the division as well. That knocks San Francisco back 5 games to the second wild card team, the Chicago Cubs, who also won today. They beat the Atlanta Braves 9-7. So the Pirates and the Cubs winners. The Cardinals will be in San Diego later tonight.
It looks like the only chance for the Nationals is to catch the Mets. Coming out of the Central again, 3 teams, it looks like, anyway, at this point.
Here's Ryan Braun. He drops a bunt down right back to Ross. And there is out number 1. Braun rarely tries to bunt for a hit, but something he spotted maybe with the defense. He thought he could get on base. Instead, it's an out, an easy out for Joe Ross.
Yeah, hitters hate that. I mean, you bunt it, you got to bunt it down the line, make it fair or make it foul, one of the two. If it's not perfect, make it foul. You don't want to bunt it back to the pitcher.
Adam Lind with 1 away. There was one other final from the big leagues from an afternoon game today on a Saturday. The Yankees beat the Indians. 6-2 was the final score in that game. On a night when they honored Jorge, or a day when they honored Jorge Posada, retired his number 20. Luis Severino got his first major league win. Yankees were not very active at the trade deadline because everybody was asking for Severino in return. They decided to keep him, and that's turning out to be a good choice. He's pitched well at his time in the big leagues. So the Yankees will remain atop the American League East. Half-game lead over the Blue Jays starting play today. Toronto will be in Anaheim tonight. They've got a matchup against the Angels. Marco Estrada pitching for the Angels, or rather for the Blue Jays tonight against the Angels. The former Brewer traded for Adam Lind. Jam shot roller to second. Joe Ross is dialed in right now. Weakly hit ground ball. 2 outs in the inning. It is now time for you to tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WithStateAStrongFan and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It is brought to you by T-Mobile. Gorgeous night for baseball here in D.C.
Yeah, maybe it's Marco Estrada's turn for a no-hitter. He's come close a couple of times this year.
He has. Yes, he has. He's having a nice year. 10-7, 3.20 ERA. That was 2 off-season moves by the Brewers, trading Estrada for Lind. The other was Gallardo for 3 prospects from the Rangers. Gallardo's on the mound tonight as well. He's pitching against the Detroit Tigers. And you'll never guess who his mound opponent is tonight, Rock.
Is it Randy Wolf?
It is Randy Wolf.
I saw that Randy was back in the big leagues with Detroit. That's a Twilight Zone moment.
It is, right? You got Prince Fielder and Giovanni Gallardo with the Rangers and Randy Wolf on the mound. Tigers actually made a trade for him. They had nobody available to pitch today. Davis rolls weakly to third. Rendon will make the play, and that is an easy inning for Joe Ross. He retired 7 straight. As we go to the bottom of the fourth behind Taylor Youngman. Now back in there is Domingo Santana. Made his Brewers debut last night. And what a moment for him. His Powerball home run number 3 as a big leaguer, but it is his first as a Milwaukee Brewer. That stretched it to a 5-1 lead. That was out of here in a flash. Exit velocity of 111 miles per hour. Carsoup.com trivia prior to last night, who was the last player to hit a home run in his Brewers debut. Good question tonight, so think about that. It's been in the last few years, and there's a nice connection to it. That's a foul ball
off the knob of the bat.
Strike one on Ian Desmond.
Desmond has faced Youngman 4 times, and all 4 times he struck out. Having a difficult time picking up that curveball.
That looked like a changeup there from Youngman. No balls, 2 strikes on Desmond. Now Santana was thrilled with his night last night. You always want to come in, contribute, help your team win, make an impression, and he certainly did that.
Well, if his minor league numbers indicate how his success is going to be, it's going to be a good year for him. Good career, 380. He's fired up right now.
You got to be exhausted.
All that energy. Hit 380 down in Colorado Springs, 320. In the minor league system with the Astros.
Yeah, and overall, if you combine all of his minor league numbers and his big league numbers, he's hit 21 homers this year with 6 weeks of baseball to play still.
Yes, so the Brewers have a center fielder or an outfielder that they can use against left-handed pitching. Probably get a few more starts than that, but we'll see.
A half swing foul by Desmond. 1-2 the count.
What's he, 6'5", what, 235 pounds?
6'5", 225 is what he's listed at.
Added 10 pounds, sorry.
That comes later. He's only 23.
He's big. Big guy.
Long and lean with a ton of power, as we saw last night. There's a swing and a miss. Upstairs with a fastball. Youngman strikes out Desmond again. Number 4 for Taylor Youngman.
They have 5 straight now for Desmond against Taylor Youngman, a high heater. Swings right through it on the foul tip.
So Youngman with the first man out here in the 4th inning. Gave up a 2-run home run to Michael Taylor in the 2nd. That is the difference in the game right now. Here is Danny Espinosa, who was a strikeout victim on a curveball in the 2nd inning.
Ian Desmond now has struck out 137 times this year. That's a lot of punch outs. Michael Taylor not far behind, 124.
And that one is stung into left field, a base hit. Espinosa dialed that one up. Opposite field single with 1 away. Nationals have their 4th hit against Taylor Youngman.
Yeah, left that one up. It was out on the outer half of the plate, but up in the zone. You can see where that ended up, about mid-thigh high. And that's a nice approach for Espinosa. Didn't try and pull it, and hits it hard into left field.
Base runner with 1 away for Wilson Ramos. Ramos singled with 2 strikes in the 2nd inning. 2 strikes and 2 outs. Youngman was Looking at a 3-up 3-down inning. Instead, Ramos kept it alive, and then the next hitter, Taylor, hit one out of here to right center. Ramos has some pop too. This lineup for the Nationals, up and down their batting order, they've got power hitters. They've got guys who can go deep.
Yeah, 4th in the league in home runs. A lot of that is because of Bryce Harper.
Youngman looking for a ground ball here, trying to keep Espinosa close.
Yeah, he might take off. He's got 5 stolen bases, been caught twice. Nationals have been very aggressive on the base paths in the first 2 games of this series, trying to get something going.
And a ground ball that's past a diving Herrera. Down into the corner it goes. Espinosa is going to score. That's an RBI double for Wilson Ramos, and the Nationals have a 3-0 lead.
Well, Youngman got his ground ball, but unfortunately right down the third baseline. Had Herrera a little bit off the line, covering that hole over there between third and short. Fastball, that 2-seamer off the inside corner, and Ramos able to tuck it inside that line, just out of the reach of Herrera, and the run scores. Made his pitch, got the ground ball, but right down the third baseline.
Ramos having a good night, 2 for 2 in his return to the lineup. Had the night off last night. So here is Michael Taylor now with a runner at second, 1 out. Got to be careful with this guy. Taylor hits 8th in the batting order. Ton of strikeouts, as Rock mentioned, but he gives you big power. 108 miles an hour exit velocity off the bat. And he hit that ball 416 feet.
Yeah, he's incredible power. I mean, he's not a bulky guy. He's tall, lanky, but he generates a lot of pop in that bat. Yeah, that's the way you attacked Michael Taylor. That's what you got to do. You got to get ahead with good fastballs in the corners, and he will chase out of the strike zone, either up with 2 strikes or that curveball down.
Two 2-0 the count on Taylor. He got the pitcher due up next. And that one's in there. A little changeup from Youngman on a 2-0 count.
Good time for it. You can throw it for strikes. Got first base open. So I guess if you walk him, no big deal. And he got the strike with the changeup.
Inside, almost hit him. 3 balls and a strike on Taylor. A narrow miss. Wow, might have caught the jersey actually. Now the way out of the inning for Youngman is this hitter right here. You got the pitcher coming up next. 1 out in the inning. Ramos just doubles in Espinosa.
Yeah, don't throw a cookie down the middle though. You got to make a good pitch.
3-1 inside, ball 4. Youngman issues his 3rd walk. He's given up 5 hits and 3 runs. And it's starting to look like a battle tonight for Taylor Youngman.
Well, it's been a battle. I mean, there's been a lot of very deep counts. You can see the concerned look on the counts on Craig Counsell's face. Has not been able to get outs early in the count. You know, first, second pitch. There's been a lot of deep counts tonight. He actually threw Taylor a 3-1 changeup and missed with it.
Well, we'll see what Ross is going to do here with runners at first and second and 1 away. Instructions from his third base coach, Bob Henley.
Brewers think he's going to bunt. In at the corners.
Shows bunt early. There's a strike. 1-1 to the opposing pitcher, Joe Ross.
Yeah, showing bunt, and he's throwing back-to-back curveballs. Interesting.
Ross squaring early once again. Infielders creep it in. He bunts right through it. Strike two. Well, for Youngman, take the out, certainly take the strikeout. If you can get Ross to bunt one firmly to first or back to the mound, might have a chance to turn a double play. Ross is trying to get the bunt down toward third base. And now he's swinging, and down he goes. So Ross pulled the bat back and strikes out. 5th strikeout for Youngman. 2nd out of the inning.
Another curveball for Taylor Youngman with the pitcher up trying to bunt. Got the strikeout that time. Next pitch will be number 80, and we're working here in the 4th inning.
Taylor Youngman to date has the lone complete game for the Brewers this season. That was in Los Angeles. Just by comparison, he went 9 innings in that game through 100 pitches. This will be number 80, and we're in the 4th. He's allowed 3 earned runs. Youngman has only allowed 3 runs or more once. That was against Colorado back on June 19th at Coors Field. Broken bat, little flare. Jeanette on the run, can't get it. Base hit. This will bring in Ramos. It's an RBI single for Jason Worth, and the Nationals are up 4-0.
That made a good pitch, but Jason Worth, big and strong, able to fight it off and dump it into center field. That two-seamer got in on his hands and able to muscle it out of the reach of Jeanette. Another run in, a big 2-out base hit for Jason Worth and the Nationals.
And a visit from pitching coach Rick Kranitz. So a 2-out RBI single for Worth. 4-0 Washington. 2 runs are in here in the 4th inning. RBIs from Ramos and Worth. And that'll bring up Rendon now with 2 on, 2 away. Well, as a pitcher, these are the moments you got to bear down, try to keep your team in the game, keep them in striking distance. And if you're the Nationals, a chance to blow this open right here. Pickoff play at second, close.
That's one way to get yourself out of a mess. He's having a difficult time throwing strikes to Anthony Rendon. It's the only guy other than Taylor that he's walked tonight. 3 walks, and 2 of them coming to the guy at home plate.
David Goforth beginning his warm-ups in the bullpen. And a line shot. That's down fair. Base hit. All the way into the corner it goes. Taylor scores. And Wert's going to try to score. Segura's throw to the plate. The tag. And he is out at home. Werth cut down again on the bases. The inning ends on a beautiful throw by Segura. Good tag by Lucroy. And the Nationals add 1 more to it. It's a 3-run 4th. It is 5-0 Washington.
To the first throw from the outfield, right on the money, and Gene Segura's strong throw into home plate gives Jason Worth at home plate to end the inning, but the Nationals able to put 3 on the board. And a good tag by Lucroy. So Worth has been thrown out at second, third, and home in this series.
Nationals did take a look at it, and I'll tell you, it was close. They decided it wasn't worth challenging, but they might have had a case. It looked like Worth might have snuck a pinky in there. Instead, they do not challenge, and Worth is thrown out with Bryce Harper coming up. Second time Worth has been thrown out on the base paths. He was cut down at third base earlier in the game. However, the Nationals have 5 runs on the board. They just scored 3 RBIs from Rendon, Worth, and Ramos, and it's 5-0 now. The Brewers have their work cut out for them tonight. As we go to the 5th inning, it'll be Jeanette, Segura, and Herrera. First 3 up for Milwaukee. Joe Ross has retired 7 straight. He's only given up 2 hits, and neither one of those hits should have been hits.
And especially the first one at Lucroy, base hit in the first. A ground ball to Ian Desmond. He threw it away. They gave Lucroy a hit. And the other one, Espinosa probably should have made a play on. So things could be looking a lot worse for the Brewers.
Jeanette's got a little blood coming out of his right forearm. Perhaps on that dive in the outfield. Drops a bunt down. It's a beauty. Ross bare hands, throws way off the mark, and Jeanette reaches on a bunt single.
Yeah, why not try to get something going? Beautiful bunt. That's what Ryan Braun tried to do last inning, but he bunted it right back the pitcher. This one, there it is. Make it perfect to make it foul. Wasn't exactly perfect, but pretty close. Pretty good athletic play by Joe Ross, but a little bit off the mark.
Zimmerman says easy now. Got a 5-run lead here, but the Brewers have a base runner for the first time since the 2nd inning, when Segura singled, and now Segura will bat with Jeanette at first. Oh, and 2 on Segura. Heck of a throw by Segura to get Worth at the plate. Got a great throwing arm.
You know, the thing is, you know, when you're in the cutoff out there in left field, you know that Chris Davis doesn't have the greatest throwing arm, so you have to be out there a little bit further. So the best throwing arm is the guy that should be making the longest throw, and that's what happened. Segura out there a little bit further than he normally would. He got the baseball on time, had good momentum going, and made a good throw to home plate.
And that's a base hit to right. So Segura goes to the opposite field. And the Brewers have started it with back-to-back singles in the 5th inning. 2 on, nobody out for Herrera.
You can save big on tickets when you bring your group of 25 or more to Miller Park. With custom tailgates, all-inclusive areas, party suites, and more. A Brewers game is perfect for groups of all sizes and budgets. To start planning your group outing at Miller Park, go to brewers.com/groups.
That'll bring up Herrera. Brewers need to cash in on one here. First and second, nobody out. Down 5-0 to Joe Ross in the Nationals. And a bunt foul. Craig Counsell sensing an opportunity here. He's already moved Jason Rogers on deck. It's going to be the end of the line for Taylor Youngman, most likely.
And it just wasn't his night out there in the mound, so you take the opportunity, get one of your power hitters off the bench, and try and get the Brewers right back in this ball game.
5 earned runs allowed for Youngman, the most earned runs he has allowed in a game in the big leagues. Oh, and 2 on Herrera. Elian into left field, slicing away from Worth, but he's got it for the out. Everybody retreats. Herrera's retired F7, first out of the inning.
That had him played perfectly. Had Worth shaded toward the line and shallow, and that's exactly where Herrera put it.
And so Craig Counsell will take a shot at it here with 2 on and 1 out. Jason Rogers will pinch hit for Youngman. Brewers are carrying a 5-man bench right now. Only 4 starters for the Brewers at this point. With so many off days, the Brewers are without a 5th starter, so they have a 5-man bench and 8 in the bullpen. And Rogers on the first pitch, chance to turn a double play, goes around the horn, easy as it gets. 5-4-3 double play. Inning over just like that. Brewers come up empty in the 5th. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Now the Brewers won last night. It's been all Nationals tonight against Taylor Youngman. 5-0. Washington has the lead on our way to the bottom of the 5th. And a reminder that tonight you be sure to catch Fox Sports Live. It's on Fox Sports 1. They'll have complete highlights and analysis of everything that happened in Major League Baseball today, plus the latest from NFL training camps and the world of sports. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Got the Rangers and the Tigers on Fox Sports 1 right now. Randy Wolf against Giovanni Gallardo. That's 4-0 Texas. Here in D.C., it is 5-0 Nationals, and David Goforth is on the mound for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, he got called up again on August 14th from AAA. This is the 4th time he's been with the Brewers this year. Last pitch against the Miami Marlins on Tuesday. Gave up a couple of runs in 2 innings of work. And Goforth with a .568 earned run average so far.
Tough night for Taylor Youngman. Bryce Harper leads off, fouls one back out of play. Most runs Youngman has allowed as a major leaguer in his 14th start of the season.
I just couldn't find that rhythm out there tonight. I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes, and a little inconsistent with his release point. You know, a lot of very deep counts tonight, and just one of those nights.
5 earned runs in 4 innings for Youngman. 7 hits for Washington. And Harper down the line, slicing foul.
Now Harper upset with himself for swinging at a pitch out of the zone. He flew out to left. Kind of weak fly ball to left his last time up on a 3-0 count.
All right, now Harper's leading the National League in homers, on base percentage, slugging percentage. Combine those two, get the highest OPS in the major leagues right now. It's over 1,000. And a swing and a miss. Goforth strikes him out.
Good slider that time. Well, Harper chased a pitch up out of the strike zone and fouled it into the seats and left. And Goforth gives him a good slider down out of the strike zone and comes up empty.
Goforth in his rookie season this season been up and down from the Brewers to AAA Colorado Springs, just his 8th appearance of the season. And Ryan Zimmerman pops this one a mile high. Adam Lind will call it, and he's got it for the out. 2 up, 2 down. Harper and Zimmerman retired. Goforth played his college ball at Ole Miss. Brewers made him a 7th round draft pick in 2011. That was the same draft that Taylor Youngman was a 1st rounder. And he's just plucked along through the Brewers minor league system. At Colorado Springs this year, had a 2.68 ERA. Pitched in 38 games at AAA this season, and a wave and a miss by Desmond. Good slider from Goforth. Goforth was the closer at AA Huntsville last year. Had 27 saves in the Southern League last year. And he got a lot of those saves with that pitch right there. Nasty slider.
Yeah, both of them out of the strike zone. And he had 4 saves for Colorado Springs this year.
Early in his pro career, he was a starting pitcher. The year he was in Wisconsin in A-ball with the Timber Rattlers, he was a starter. And then it was that next year, 2013, that they moved him from a starter to a reliever. And that's where he's been at the higher levels of the Brewers minor league system. It's mostly because of the absence of a 3rd pitch. He's a fastball slider pitcher. Comes at you with everything he's got. And a bouncer to Lynn. Nice play, and the connect to Goforth to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down, restoring some order here at Nationals Park. On our way to the 6th.
in the community. Reviving baseball in the inner cities, or RBI, is an urban youth baseball initiative that provides youth an opportunity to learn and enjoy the game of baseball. The RBI program encourages participation in baseball while providing youth with a positive, team-oriented activity that challenges them mentally and physically. This season of the Whiff, is back and smells better than ever. Fans are encouraged to support the Brewers RBI leagues by tweeting #Whiff for every strikeout they see.
Telly Hughes, a proud RBI alumnus. We need some photographs, Telly, of your RBI days.
For some reason, I think they will be able to pull that up if you ask.
We know how to get to your family. We can get them on our own. We're going to give you a chance to bring them to us. Did you go with the high socks back then, Telly, as Shane Peterson starts the inning with a base hit? On the first pitch, he singles to right field.
Well, B.A., I went with the stirrups. I mean, back then it was kind of cool. Now it's kind of old school. But
it's coming back.
It's coming back. I was a stirrup guy.
Did you have the arch up front or in the back, the high arch?
No. I had the lines on each side.
Oh, the built-ins, the sewn-in stirrups.
Yes.
Nice.
More importantly, Telly, could you hit?
No. That's why I was a pitcher.
Pitcher in college.
Okay.
Telly Hughes.
Could you pitch?
I was decent.
I think he's been recruited to throw some batting practice here recently. Lucroy fouls one back. Now the Brewers with the lead man on. They had 2 on to start the 5th inning. And then a fly ball out and a double play ended the inning. Ross working on a shutout through 5. This has been a nice find for the Washington Nationals. A jam shot roller to Desmond, and trying for an out at second. They got it. Peterson slides in. That was very risky by Desmond. Counsel giving his video replay folks a chance to take a look at this.
Yeah, pretty close. Looked like he got it right. And Desmond, I guess, figuring this is the only play he's got. Very similar to the ball to Lucroy hit in the 1st inning. Yeah, hard to tell right there, but Craig Counsell satisfied that they got it right at second base. Here's a better look at it.
Yeah, it's bang bang, but unlikely that one would have been overturned. And call on the field was out, so Counsell does not challenge. Lucroy at first on a fielder's choice. That's a 6-4 put out at second. And here's Ryan Braun now. Braun tried to bunt his way on last time up. He bunted it right back to the pitcher.
I had a tough time picking up the baseball out of the hand of Joe Ross. Difficult time laying off that slider. He just started him out with a breaking pitch.
Nasty slider from Ross. Braun tops the Powerball home run leaderboard. He has 22 this season. Adam Lind with 17 on the year.
Chris Davis catching up quickly.
Yeah, Davis has had a great month. Home runs and RBIs. Oh, and 2 the count. And Braun fouls it away. Ryan in the top 10 in the league in homers. Harper's the leader with 31. Nolan Arenado of the Rockies has 30. Those are the only 2 with 30 in the National League. And then you got Todd Frazier, Carlos Gonzalez. Stanton's been out for a while, over a month. He still is 5th in the National League in home runs.
Would have been nice to be able to track what he would have been able to do this year had he not got hurt. It's a shame.
Broken hamate bone in his wrist for Giancarlo Stanton. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Braun. 1 gone, runner at first. Brewers need a quick strike. And Braun able to lay off that slider this time. Put it in a good spot, did Ross. That's a pitch he got him swinging at earlier in the count.
Well, the more you see a pitcher, the better off you are. Better chance you have of getting a good pitch to hit. I see his release point a few times, and maybe Ryan's seeing the baseball a little bit better. Anytime you see Ryan Braun try and bunt for a base hit, you know he's having a difficult time picking up the baseball.
And down he goes. So he strikes out on a hanging slider. Second strikeout for Braun tonight. He's 0 for 3. And 2 men out. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #WisDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in a broadcast. Travis, along with the Brat.
Are you sure that that's Travis?
I'm thinking Travis is on the left there. Travis might be inside the Brat costume, though. Who knows? Brought to you by T-Mobile. Good job, Travis.
That's a costume?
Those aren't real. Adam Lind on the first pitch. And Desmond is there, and Joe Ross has 6 shutout innings for the Washington Nationals. 5-0 Nats on our way to the home 6th. Nothing. Got 2 in the second, added 3 in the fourth. Back to our Carsoup.com trivia. Prior to last night, who was the last player to hit a home run in his Brewers debut? That would be Carlos Gomez, who was traded for J.J. Hardy prior to the 2010 season. And how about this? Opening day against the Colorado Rockies of Matt Belisle. Carlos Gomez, long home run, and that's how we welcomed him to Milwaukee. Look at some of these faces there. Braun and Fielder and Casey McGee. There's Alcides Escobar, Ricky Weeks. Jim Edmonds making an appearance.
Yeah, how about that, right? Good stuff.
Yeah, real good. Well done. 2010. Carlos Gomez now playing for the Houston Astros. He and Fires traded to Houston for the 4 prospects. Espinosa leads off for Washington. He's 1 for 2. Had a single to left field in the 4th inning. That started a bit of a rally. 3 runs came in that 4th. RBIs from Ramos and Worth and Rendon. That ended the night of Taylor Youngman. Right to Jeanette for out number 1. Goforth has come on and retired 4 in a row.
Throwing a lot of strikes, getting some outs early in counts. That is something that Taylor Youngman had a difficult time in doing. Threw a lot of pitches tonight. Got behind in the count. Inconsistent curveball, but as you're right, David Goforth throwing a lot of strikes, good quality strikes.
Ten pitches, 9 strikes for Goforth. Goforth was an all-star performer at the AA level last year. Brewers put him on their major league roster. We saw a little bit of him this spring. When Willie Peralta was sent to the disabled list in May, it was Goforth who was brought up to the big leagues, not to replace Peralta in the starting rotation, but to bolster that bullpen. Peralta spent 2 months on the DL.
Yeah, came up on May 26th, got sent down on June 9th. Was up a couple of different times in July and then got called back up on the 14th of this month.
Now, the day he was sent down, he had to make room for the arrival of Taylor Youngman to the big leagues. That was Youngman's first day in the big leagues as Goforth picks up a strikeout. So Wilson Ramos is retired for the first time. Goforth has 5 in a row with 2 strikeouts and just continues to pour in the strikes.
Yep, and tonight's talent of the game, one of my favorite names, Knucklehead Pub and Eagle. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, Knucklehead Pub gets 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin. And Miller Lite, one more time, Knucklehead Pub.
That is one of your favorite words, no doubt. And it's used often on the rest of us. Michael Taylor with 2 away.
Knucklehead's kind of a term of endearment, isn't it?
I don't know. Not the way you use it.
You knucklehead. Kind of a playful way of making a point.
I don't know. I'm not buying that.
No. It's all in the delivery.
Yeah, it is. Requires context.
It's a lot better than numbskull, isn't it?
Taylor rolls over one foul. David Goforth, Philadelphia, Mississippi, not Pennsylvania. Got a good run here, trying to make it 6 straight, 2 scoreless innings. Nationals got a 2-run home run out of Michael Taylor in the 2nd inning. It was a bomb out of here to right center. 416 feet they measured it. And now the count goes full, 3-2.
Michael Taylor locked in right now, it looks like. I mean, he's just taking those sliders off the corner and not even budging.
He's hit home runs in 3 consecutive games. The Nationals in their history have had 3 players hit home runs in 4 straight games. And right back up the middle, a base hit. Taylor with a single to center with 2 outs will keep the inning alive for the pitcher Ross. He is in a very good place as a hitter right now.
Yeah, that's the way he stays back. I mean, he's not jumping at the baseball. Goforth hung the slider and right back through the middle. Those are the kind of at-bats you get out of big leaguers when they're seeing the baseball well. Yeah, nice and relaxed up there at the plate. That's his 2nd hit.
So has a home run, a walk, and a single now. Taylor, he scored twice. And he is on for the pitcher, Ross, who bats with 2 away. Joe Ross came with their young shortstop, who they just brought up yesterday, Trey Turner, from the Padres to the Nationals. 3-way trade with the Rays and the Nationals and the Padres. Ross, when he was coming up in the San Diego system, had hoped that he would pitch on the same big league rotation as his older brother Tyson Ross, who was an all-star last year for the Padres. And Tyson was hoping the same, and that's why this offseason, when the trade went down, that was a bit of a shock to the Ross brothers.
I don't know what they put up there at the home plate.
Part of the trade for the Padres was to get a catcher, Ryan Hannigan, and Will Myers from Tampa Bay. There were a ton of players that changed hands in that deal, that 3-team trade. A little tapper right to go forth and pencil him in for 2 scoreless innings. The 5th and the 6th belong to go for tonight in D.C. Nice job. Let's get you caught up here. Our AT&T U-verse rewind. What a catch by Shane Peterson. That was in the first inning. Turned into a double play as he got work, but things have gone south for the Brewers since. 2-run home run, Michael Taylor in the second. And then in the 4th inning, a base hit, a double and an RBI for the catcher Ramos. Jason Worth had a broken bat single that plated a run. And then Anthony Rendon drove in a run with this line drive to left. Could have been 2 runs. Worth trying to score from first base. Cut down on a great relay throw from Segura. And that's how the 4th inning ended. And it was 5-0 at that point, and that is still the score as we head to the 7th inning. The Brewers are coming to bat. Joe Ross is on his game tonight for the Nationals. He is working on a shutout through the first 6 innings.
Yeah, Brewers have only had one man reach second base. That was the 5th inning. Scooter Gennett, back-to-back hits. Gennett, Segura, that's been it.
In that inning, the Brewers had 2 on and nobody out. And then a fly ball out and a double play off the bat of Jason Rogers into the threat. So here we are in the 7th. It'll be Davis, Gennett, and Segura. Davis on the first pitch launches one out of here. Way back. Home run for Chris Davis. A booming home run. Number 15 for Chris Davis.
He is red hot right now. Well, boy, that ball was smoked. Way back about 3/4 of the way up the bleachers out there and left. First pitch of the 7th inning. Check this out. Slider hung up in the strike zone, and Chris Davis, nice easy swing, good balance, and watch how far this one goes.
Get the tape measure out on this one. That was a long home run. So Taylor and Davis with plenty of mileage on their home run balls tonight.
One of the few sliders that Ross has hung tonight, and Davis knocks it out of here.
First run of the game for the Brewers. Now Jeanette pulls one foul. That springs the Nationals bullpen into action.
Some kind of month of August for Chris Davis. What's that, 21 RBIs?
Yep. Yeah, he's tied for the National League lead in homers and RBIs in the month of August. Matt Thornton is the big lefty getting loose. Jeanette pops this one up. Foul territory, Rendon for out number 1. That'll bring up Segura. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. Couple of hits, both to the opposite field. And that one to the right side, but this time right at Espinosa. 2 outs.
Hey, fans, don't miss the final Free Shirt Friday this season as the Brewers and the Reds face off on Friday, August 28th, and all fans get a retro Brewers t-shirt courtesy of a Rise Health Plan. Reserve your spot today by calling 414-902-4000 or visiting brewers.com. Free Shirt Friday.
If it's free, it's for me.
Give me 3.
That is the final Free Shirt Friday of the season, by the way.
Is that your favorite one?
It's coming to an end. That one right there, the one we just saw.
Yeah.
The white one. That's my new favorite.
Better than the last one?
Better than the last one and the one before that, and then the one before that.
Ball and glove that look like the state of Wisconsin.
I like that one too, and at the time it was my favorite. They saved the best for last.
They just keep getting better.
Elian Herrera with 2 outs. Well, if Herrera can reach, Domingo Santana will hit. Council's got him on deck already. Long home run by Davis to start this inning. There is the newcomer, Cesar Jimenez.
Get him in right away, right? Why not?
Absolutely.
Why wait?
Good to see him in a Brewers uniform. Brewers claimed him from the Phillies. Keeping an eye on the Orioles game tonight. Twins Orioles across the Beltway. And Neil Kotz is in uniform, available to pitch tonight for the Minnesota Twins. O's have a 2-1 lead in that game over Minnesota. You know, you look at the Twins record right now, and they don't quite feel like a playoff team at this point. However, at 500, they're just 2 games out of the wild card spot. Yeah. There are a lot of teams bunched up for the 2 wild card spots in the American League right now. Right now, it's Toronto and the Angels that are inside. And they're tied, essentially. And so then you have the Orioles and the Rangers, a half game outside looking in. Then you got the Twins and the Rays are 2 games back. Both of those teams are at 500. And even the Detroit Tigers, who traded away all their pieces, they're 3.5 back.
Still have a shot.
Going to come down to the end, you would think. In the air to center field. On his way back, Taylor. He's an excellent defender, and he is standing there for out number 3. But the inning starts with a booming home run off the bat of Chris Davis. breaks the shutout. 5-1 Washington. DC 5-1 Washington leading the Brewers. And David Goforth, he's been impressive in his first 2 innings out of the bullpen and trying to bridge the gap here with a short start by Youngman. Back out there for a 3rd inning. Goforth 2 scoreless. He's given up 1 hit, has 2 strikeouts, has been efficient, and has thrown a lot of strikes in his 2 innings. Goforth has 23 pitches, 18 of them for strikes. Facing the top of the Nationals order, Jason Worth leads off.
Well, last night Kyle Loesch gave Craig Counsell 3 innings, picked up a save in the Brewers victory. Trying to get 3 innings out of Goforth. So that's unusual to have a reliever back-to-back nights give you 3 innings.
Kyle Loesch was ecstatic about his save yesterday. He said he had no idea. He knew he was going 3 innings, but just wasn't thinking that way. He was so focused on the game. And Jonathan Lucroy told him after the game, said, "Congratulations." He said, "For what?" It was your first major league save.
Yeah, then he got it.
There's a funny piece in the Brewers game notes today. Mike Vasallo had the all-time major league leaders in saves, and so has Mariano Rivera down to Francisco Rodriguez, who is 7th. Rodriguez has 378 saves, and now Loesch is just 377 saves away from K-Rod. That was a tweet from the Brewers. As Goforth strikes out Jason Worth here in the 7th inning.
That's nice and creative, isn't it?
Vasallo had 1 through 7 on the all-time saves list, and then the last line was T1507, meaning in a tie for 1507, Kyle Loesch and 556 others with 1 career major league save. That's good.
Yeah, burning the midnight oil thinking up that stuff.
Yep. That's good stuff. Good for Loesch. He needed something good to happen to him this year, and he's pitching well now. Showed a good changeup last night. He did give up a home run in last night's game in 3 innings, but was able to finish the game off, and the Brewers able to keep their leverage relievers active and rested. Tell you, those guys got to feel like they can start all over again, as much rest as they've had. Guys like Smith and Francisco Rodriguez and Jeremy Jeffress.
Yeah, Brewers with 4 off days in the span of 12 days. All started on Thursday. They got Monday off, and then next Thursday Nothing like rest for that bullpen. They're looking for work.
In the air to left center. Rendon sends that one deep, and that one's not coming back. A home run. So the first blemish for Goforth. Rendon with his second home run. I tell you, if he gets going at the plate, this guy is a dynamic offensive player. He's had an awful season, injury-filled season, but if he gets going for the stretch, look out.
Yeah, they're in striking distance, and Rendon didn't even really get good extension on that baseball. I mean, he pulled the hands in so much that the top hand came off, but still able to get it out of here. That is a strong young man over there, normally playing second base. That's going to be it for Goforth.
Counsell trying to squeeze 3 innings out of him. We'll have to make a double switch here. Reason being, Goforth that pitcher spot due up to lead off in the 8th. So now Counsell is going to have to make the double switch. And Goforth will exit 2 1/3 with 1 run allowed. So we have a pitching change. Counsell to his bullpen. Not a bad showing tonight for Goforth. And now we'll see the newcomer, Jimenez. Anthony Rendon. He and Taylor with home runs tonight. So Counsell makes a double switch. Hernan Perez will come into play third base. And the new pitcher is the newcomer, just acquired off waivers by the Brewers from the Phillies. This is Cesar Jimenez.
He's had a lot of time in the big league. Not a lot of time, but 81 games between Seattle and Philadelphia. So up and down quite a bit. You can see his overall numbers in his career: 6 seasons, a .415 earned run average. Now he was down in AAA Lehigh Valley this year, 41 games, 1 start, and had a .361 earned run average.
30-year-old native of Venezuela, facing Bryce Harper in his Brewers debut. Craig Counsell says, welcome to the club. Now go pitch to Bryce Harper. Why not? Trading Neil Kotz to the Twins. Open up a spot for Jimenez. Jimenez, the third pitcher used by Counsell tonight. Goforth went 2 1/3 with 1 run. And a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, basically fastball slider for Jimenez, and doesn't throw hard. High 80s. Throws the slider. Needs to keep it down and away. Doesn't throw very hard to get away with too much of the wide of the plate.
Been up and down the last 3 years with the Phillies. At Lehigh Valley this season. Actually had 4 saves for the Phillies AAA team. and actually made one start for him this year. Gave up more hits than innings pitched. Average about 6 strikeouts per 9 innings this season. There's a breaking ball, and that one missed. Jimenez thought he had a strikeout. Jimenez joins his countryman down in that bullpen, Francisco Rodriguez, native of Venezuela. I'm sure that's a thrill for Cesar Jimenez. K-Rod, such a legendary player down in Venezuela. He's not that much older than Jimenez, believe it or not. He's only 3 years older than Jimenez. By no means a young pitcher. Well, you figure he's going to get a good look here with the Brewers. Believe it or not, Jimenez has Wisconsin ties. Way back in 2003, he was in the Midwest League, pitching in Appleton for Wisconsin. That was when they were a Mariners affiliate. There's a lot of baseball and a lot of travel and teams played for between that moment of time and where he is right now.
Yeah, last pitch on Thursday against the Marlins as a member of the Phillies. Tossed 2 1/3 scoreless innings. That included 3 strikeouts. So a good outing his last time out.
Long battle here with Bryce Harper. This is pitch number 9. 3-2 the count. And he muscles that one into center field, a base hit. Harper thinking about 2. He'll hold up. That's just a good piece of hitting by Harper. His first hit of the game. Don't keep this guy down very often. He's having one of those years.
And he's hitting over 300 against left-handers. He hangs right in there against lefties.
Here's Zimmerman now. 1 away, runner at first. Counsel will see how Jimenez handles right-handed batters. In the right field, well hit. Braun going back, and he's got it for the second out. Boy, Ryan Zimmerman has some serious mileage on 2 of his outs here tonight. That sent Braun all the way to the track in deep right field. Earlier in the game, in the 3rd inning, he hit one 400 feet for an out into center field. He's 0 for 4 tonight.
Man, a few years ago, they probably would both be home runs. Yeah, bat slowed down a little bit. Still likes the ball out away from him and nearly hit that one out to right field.
Slow tapper, third base. Perez, bare hands, no play there. That's going to be an infield hit for Ian Desmond. Has barely got a piece, a swinging bunt.
Now the way his season's going, he'll take it. He's barely able to get a piece of it off the end of the bat, and a little dribble down the third baseline. No chance for Perez, and Ian Desmond with his first hit.
And he's 1 for 4 tonight. So first and second against Jimenez. Facing switch hitter Danny Espinoza will turn around, hit right-handed. Espinosa figures to get a lot of playing time here in this Brewers series with Escobar out and injured. Nationals are hoping Escobar is just going to be a couple of days after he strained his neck yesterday in the first inning going after a foul ball. Collided with a fan yesterday. There's a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count on Espinosa.
A hyperextension of the neck. That could be a serious injury.
It's an awkward collision, head first collision. He hit the fan in the chest, and it was with such force that the fan went off his feet, knocked him back on his backside, both feet in the air. Ground ball. Perez right on the bag, will step on it to end the inning. And Cesar Jimenez officially a Brewer now. He's got him in the books. No runs. Wisconsin tonight. The Brewers trailing, but coming up, 6 outs to work with. How about tomorrow? Miller Lite, what's on tap? Matt Garza against the Wisconsin native Jordan Zimmerman. And we'll be on the air at noon tomorrow. Fox Sports Wisconsin again is the site. Game kicks off a little after 12:30 Central Time, 1:30 here in D.C. Garza and Zimmerman tomorrow, the finale of the season series between the Brewers and the Nationals. New pitcher is Blake Trinan in for Joe Ross, who goes 7 innings, allows just 1 run. He pitched very well tonight, only a Chris Davis home run. And it is all Washington so far in this one, so Matt Williams goes to his bullpen as Trinan gets ready to work. He'll face Hernan Perez to lead off.
He got called back up on August 6th. A sinker baller. He throws hard. He was actually last year he was with the Nationals 6 different times, so he's been riding a roller coaster quite a bit last couple of years, putting together some pretty good outings for the Nationals this year.
Trinan got a lot of movement, as you can see, with some serious velocity.
That's some gas with some movement. Yeah, last pitch against the Rockies a couple of days ago. Scoreless inning.
And a bender in there for a strike, and an about face for Hernan Perez. Not much he can do about that. From 98 to a slider.
They experience Brewers baseball like a VIP from one of Miller Park's 5 spectacular all-inclusive areas. You'll enjoy incredible views, exclusive amenities, complimentary food and beverage, and more. Single game AIA tickets are available now at brewers.com/all-in. AIA, all-inclusive areas.
I see. Very nice. Thanks for letting us in on your
Did you know what that was?
On your lingo.
AIA?
No, I had no idea.
I knew that.
IDK.
You don't care?
No, that would be IDC.
Oh, IDC, yeah.
IDK.
IDK, okay, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I had a whole truck tell me that the mistake that I made. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
They were on you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They like that.
Tonight's game being produced by Brad Weimer.
He was first.
Directed by Mark Vittorio.
Second.
As Peterson grounds out. Second out of the inning. Trident 2 up, 2 down. Brad Weimer, Mark Vittorio, and Doug Foster doing whatever he does. Tim Koenig in tape. Timmy tape. Here's Lucroy now at 2 away.
IDK. I got to remember that one. That's a good one.
When you have a teenage daughter, you get to know all the quick texting symbols.
Yeah. You know SMH?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Shake my head.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You do.
TTYL. Talk to you later. I get that one a lot. It's just taking baseball jargon to the texting world. So Lucroy draws a base on balls, a BB in my book. There's a lot of smoke over here to the right that's got me a touch concerned.
It's got a bit of a smell of hamburger to it.
It does. And we are so high up here that we can kind of get a bird's eye view of everything. And the smoke is wafting out of some area over here above the first base dugout, way up here in the nosebleeds. A little tapper by Braun, and trying to make a play, has a scoreless 8th inning. Call somebody, Rock.
We're right here. There's where we are. We're right there. Right here.
All right. TY, Jeff. Cesar Jimenez back to work. Looks like the smoke has dissipated. I think we're all going to be all right, Rock.
I wasn't worried.
I was a little nervous. I was ready for an SOS.
No.
Right there.
Oh, good.
It kind of made me hungry, though. I think you're right. That must have been a grill gone bad.
Yeah.
That was not a Bill's Grill situation over there.
Much less smoke. Unless they got the smoker working.
Wilson Ramos leads off for the Nats. They lead 6-1 and hits sharply right at Segura. And that'll be out number 1 for Jimenez.
This is not a tailgating ballpark, is it?
No. No. There's a river on one side. This is a stand around social common area ballpark, though. Half Street over there above the left center field fence. That's how folks come in off the metro train. That's a pretty cool area. It's starting to get some personality, this ballpark, I think. I mean, when it first opened, it was just big and gray and looked like a federal building. But, you know, as time goes on, it's getting more and more personality to it. It holds over 40,000.
My refrigerator out there looks pretty inviting. Looks like they have a good time out there. They got some some places out there. The fans are hanging out in left center.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in the concourses and coming in on Half Street. All the buildings here. There's, from our vantage point, we get a great look at the Capitol, which is under construction right now.
Yeah, that's the spot we're talking about. Looks like a good time out there.
I think there would be a lot more positive things said about this ballpark if the booth wasn't so high in the clouds. We are higher than the lights. And Cesar Jimenez looks like an ant from where we sit.
Yeah, it is. It's up here. The highest vantage point in any ballpark that we've been to.
Yes, still going. And the writers are right below us, which they love to make fun of us, but that is straight up. And it's a touch unnerving. Swinging a foul back. Hey, look out, every now and then you'll see a sniper or two on top of one of the buildings, and see the Capitol building.
Yeah. You can see from miles around.
Yeah, it is a great view for that. Pittsburgh and Washington are the two highest booths. There's a called strike 3. Jimenez with a punch out. And he's got 2 men out here in the 8th inning. Well, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, and healthy lifestyles. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. Big hand for Trey Turner in his second big league game. Came with Joe Ross. Not exactly at the same time. He was actually the player to be named later in that trade, that 3-way deal. And Turner, after a very good year in AAA, hitting .314 in the big leagues. Very highly rated prospect and a shortstop prospect. Got his major league debut under his belt last night. Had 2 at-bats. He can really run.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday with a ground ball. Almost beat it out. And a relatively routine ground ball. A little bit of a off the end of the bat.
Infielders know they got to field it and make a quick throw to first base to get Turner. One of the fastest in all of baseball. There's a swing and a miss. Lucroy will secure the strikeout at first. Good job. Cesar Jimenez comes on, goes an inning plus in his Brewers debut. We head to the 9th. Last call for the Brewers. By Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Getting late for the Brewers. They're down 5 runs. We're in the 9th inning. Nationals trying to even a series at a game apiece. They've got Matt Thornton, a former closer with the White Sox, and he's on the mound. He's been operating in a late inning role for Matt Williams, 7th and 8th inning role on occasion.
Man, not a big strikeout guy. 19 punch-outs, 9 walks, and 30 and a third innings. So he normally comes in for a couple of hitters, and that's it. Yeah, Thornton, hard-throwing veteran reliever, claimed off of waivers from the Yankees back in 2014.
So Domingo Santana will bat for the Brewers, a pinch hit appearance. Santana got his Brewers debut out of the way last night, hit a home run. He hit a shot down the left field line. Line drive bullet that just cleared the wall. And that ball is ripped into deep center field. Way back. Taylor will watch this one bounce. And Santana on his way to second base with a pinch hit double.
Well, he doesn't even have to get good extension to be able to hit the ball hard, does he? Opposite field. Out there in the right center. Right, big and strong. He got that ball in on him just a little bit, but nice easy swing, and just powers it over the head of Michael Taylor out there in center field. Boy, strong is Domingo Santana.
Man, what a powerful, compact swing he has.
Yeah.
We've seen a few long home runs in this series. Chris Davis had one his last time up that traveled 448 feet, but nobody has had the velocity off the bat than Santana. Look at that. That bat goes slamming against his back on the follow through.
Yeah, didn't even get good extension on it, but the ball just jumps off his bat anyway.
Davis hit a bomb his last time up. Home run number 15 of the season.
They said it went 448 feet. That's a bomb.
No doubt. And that was Davis's 8th home run in the month of August. 7th inning, first pitch breaking ball from Ross, and the only run the Brewers were able to score against Joe Ross. What a month he's having. Starting to play every day, and the numbers are starting to follow. Now 43 runs batted in. Davis has the National League lead in homers and RBIs in the month of August. He's tied with Carlos Gonzalez of the Rockies for home runs this month with 8. And now 21 runs batted in. One ball, 2 strikes on Davis, and down he goes. Thornton hits the edge.
Right on the edge at the knees. Well, not much you can do with that. I guess at this point, you know, the way the strike zone is these days, you're best off taking it because you can't do anything with it anyway. Ramos holds it there nicely.
Matt Thornton still at it. Came up in the Mariners system. Hard throwing left-hander back then as a starting pitcher. Ground ball to short. And Desmond for out number 2. Jeanette is retired, and the Brewers are down to their last out. Final game of the series tomorrow. Jordan Zimmerman and Matt Garza. And then the Brewers will take Monday off before they head to Cleveland to start a 2-game series with the Indians. Brewers will have Peralta and Nelson in that series. Remember, Milwaukee going with just a 4-man rotation at this point with the off days. Well, the Nationals fans are hoping this is the homestand. They get back into the race. 5 games out of first place. Starting play today. The Brewers would love to turn them around a little bit. Brewers beat them last night. But the Nats with 2 in the second. Michael Taylor had a 2-run homer. They scored 3 in the fourth. Ramos, Worth, and Rendon with RBIs, and then Rendon hit a home run in the 7th inning. On base 4 times with 2 hits, a double and a homer, and 2 walks. And Joe Ross was excellent tonight.
Yeah, he was. Never really gave the Brewers a chance to get much going. Worked quickly, 2 strikes.
Unfortunately for the Nationals, the Mets are up big in Colorado, 11-3 in the 5th inning. Mets have had a good run there in Colorado. Cespedes with the 5 hits last night in the 3 home runs. 2-1 to Segura. And it is caught at third by Rendon. Taking a hit away from Segura, and that's